Memory all alone in the moonlight. Okay, today I want to talk about cats. I just recently saw this a few months ago, and it's a maybe a traveling production crew that did this. I was invited by a buddy of mine who had an extra ticket, and he got those two tickets from someone else that couldn't make it. And I guess he called like a million people, and no one wanted to go watch it. So he finally asked me, "Hey, are you interested?" I'm like, "Okay, what the hell? I got nothing to do." And cats. I mean, when I think of cats, I think of memory. So hey, this is one of my favorite like musical songs. Period, from any Broadway show. So I'm like, okay. It's cool. Gonna listen to some good music and what the hell? Just something to blow off time, right? And after seeing this, I really wanted to talk about it not too long after seeing it, but I really had to like step back and really think about it. And really, there's two questions. What the hell is Cats? This musical. What the hell is it? And secondly, why what the hell is it so popular? Okay? Because I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Now, just to give you my little background, I haven't seen a musical or opera or anything, within that realm for a long time. My exposure to musicals and operas was when I was a kid, going elementary school, living, going to school in the city. You have access to like museums and like concert halls and things like that. So we would take field trips, right? We would take it to the art museums, science field museums, stuff like that. We would go to see, I think a lot of times go watch some type of classical music concert. And they do these specifically for students as well. Like, it's like during the day, like, maybe it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I don't know, but it's during the day, and they would have like a different conductor, not the main conductor, and maybe you know the players would be a different set, and they would just basically do it for students, and they would take have concerts for students from all over the city, right? So we would go for field trips on that, and then we would include stuff like this, like not Cats, but the musicals and operas. I remember seeing Pirates of Penzance. I think that's an opera, more like it. The Music Man, Mikado. I'm pretty sure I saw a couple more. I just don't remember. Maybe I was just, I don't know. But now these musicals and operas I've seen as a kid during field trips. They're kind of like second or third rate crews or something. I don't know. They're not your Broadway production, original cast or anything like that. It would be like remakes, and it wouldn't be like top tier. It would be like second or third tier, like let's say the Broadway production, the original Broadway productions, SNL, Saturday Night Live. What I'm seeing is like a tier below Second City. I don't know. That's what it feels like. But and I'm not trying to diss anyone. It just but anyway, my experience from actually going to a real venue and watching a musical live or an opera live was mainly through when I was in elementary school. And if I recall, I didn't get a bad impression of any of them I saw. Like, usually I'd be really critical, but even as a kid, be like, this sucks or something like that. But I didn't get that impression, or at least recall feeling like that. So that tells me that the ones I watched were pretty good. Now, I didn't think, nothing really stuck as well, so I don't think anything really impressed me to a point where, I got to see this musical again, or I got to see more musicals. Nothing like that happened. So I think it's more favorable for me, like favorable impression, but nothing to either disappoint me or make me piss off or enlighten me, I guess. It's just, I've seen it, pretty cool. And I guess mainly because I don't have to go to school, right? I don't have to take, I don't have to go through all the periods, all the classes and stuff like that. So it's like a break, right? So maybe that's why. But anyway, so that's my experience watching musicals and operas live. And now, I did wanted to see later on. There's two of them that I really wanted to see: Mamma Mia and Jersey Boys. You can tell those two based off of music groups, right? And popular music groups. And I really wanted to see those, especially Mamma Mia. If you check out my other video on the greatest pop song ever, I think you'll know why. But anyway, so Mamma Mia was at a time where I think I didn't have money and just didn't have availability. Yeah, it's both. Jersey Boys, I just didn't get the chance. I mean, I really wanted to see it when it first came out, but never got the chance. So those are the two I really felt bad missing out on in terms of actually going to see the Broadway production, the original cast, I think, at least, of the musicals, those two. And now, fast forward a bit, I get to see cast. Now this is not obviously not the original or top tier. It's just a traveling production crew. So watching in the beginning, I had no expectations. No expectations being I don't even know what the story is. I just know it's about cats and it has memory in it, right? And going in there, I got this playbill, but I didn't even read it. I was just go and sit and start watching, right? And immediately they start singing, and then you see all these people. There's a lot of them, in these cat uniforms, these like leotards, that type of thing. Just going around, just singing, and singing's okay. They're moving around okay, and again, there's a lot of cats. I mean, a lot of people just going back and forth, singing this, singing that. I didn't even know what to look for. I turned left, turned right. Each group was doing their own thing, and basically almost toward near intermission, like maybe 45 minutes in, at least half hour for sure, but I think more than that, I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? And when I mean that, I didn't know what was going on. I literally, so far I was just watching and having no clue what was going on. Now I think they did play Memory, or at least the melody a little bit here and there, and I was like, oh wow, okay, finally something. But that's it. It was just like a little melody here and there, and now they start singing other things. Jellicle crap stuck in my head, and that's the only thing I remember hearing. I just didn't know what the hell was going on, and from a plot perspective, from just trying to understand what this musical was about, and finally we hit intermission, right? And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I told my buddy, like, do you get this? And he's like, well, a little bit. He's really a modest guy. Anything he answers is really modest, even though it may not be. He might hate it or he may love it, but he'll just keep it modest, right? So I'm like, crap. So everyone's going up, taking a break here and there, getting food or going to the bathroom or something. I'm just sitting there, right? And by the way, we had pretty good seats. We were like right in the middle. And I opened the very first things I opened this, and immediately I get to this middle part, right? This middle part shows like the cast and I guess the hierarchy of the cats. And then immediately I see second wife, fourth wife, sixth wife, seventh wife, eighth wife. So I'm like, oh, this is what it's about, right? So the top cat, the head honcho cat. And this top cat I've never seen him until he came out, like, it seems like 20 minutes later into the program, and he just finally shows up and like a grand thing. And I was thinking, man, this guy must be the top cat, the king cat, right? And he's like Henry VIII, right? I'm Henry VIII. Anyway, and then I think from what after looking at this, and then my impression was immediately this guy's just trying to get another wife. That's what it is, another wifey cat. So that's what's going on. So they're all trying to, sing and dance or something to impress the top cat here to, hey, pick me or something. So, okay, I was like, okay. And then we after intermission, we continue on. There's more singing, more dancing, more singing, more dancing. And I realized, dang, no one talked anything at all. There's like no one speaking. They're just all singing. I'm like, what the hell? And so I'm just trying to concentrate who's going to win his love, right? Things like that. Who's going to be his next wife? And now I remember there's like at least 2 cats singing Memory. And the one that is kind of not the good lookingest, I don't know, kind of like the one that doesn't really dance or anything. I think she sung the best. Like her voice wise, it's kind of more of like a musical opera type voice. And then there's another cat singing it, I'm pretty sure. And she's the one that moves a bit more, and and she has more of a pop voice, right? So for something like this, I prefer the opera musical voice of that cat that doesn't really do anything to the pop voice that, it's like, it has a good pop voice. It's a good pop voice, but I don't think it stands out as to the other cat. So, but I think she's the younger one or something like that. So, I don't know. And another thing. This one has kind of a Cirque du Soleil type of, I guess, stunts. You can tell right here. Like, now, I don't know if this was in the original Cats. I don't think so when it first came out. But, they have the cats that kind of, do some type of high wire act. Now, they're not doing anything outrageous or anything. They're just kind of going on the, like, flying up a little bit here and there, and they're showing it. And to me, it kind of helps, like, when watching it, especially not knowing what the story was or things like that. At least it kind of gave focus on who we should focus on. Because, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, I had no clue what was going on. I didn't even know what to look for because everyone was doing their own thing. So I was just looking left, right, and I had no clue. But this helped kind of focus on who the character we should be focusing on. I think that was the intent. But if you're looking for Cirque du Soleil, circus acrobats, that kind of stuff, this is not in here. But it's got some type of dangerous act or something like that. So if you're a cats person, this may not be your cup of tea because it adds this element to it. But just letting you know. For me, again, it kind of helped bring focus to what I should be paying attention to, I guess. But yeah. So anyway, finally at the end of the show, everyone was like standing up, standing ovation, and I must have been the only one that was like not only disappointed but totally pissed off because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I guess at the end of the day, I guess the top cat chose his girl, and that's it, because I don't know. That's what I got. That's what I got from watching Cats, right? So I got home and I, just trying to think of why. Mainly because Cats, I know as a kid, Cats was popular. Like, everyone, when they talk about musicals during that time, we're talking about like the 90s and stuff, and like what's the best musicals, and usually you get that recency bias here and there. Everyone's like Cats, and and they talk about Andrew Lloyd Webber, and then Memory, I knew that song. I actually like it, and that's why I'm like, man, this has to be damn good, musical. But I came out like pissed. I didn't like it at all. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I didn't like it at all. Now, when I look at this, I didn't know what to say. I mean, again, just came out disappointed. So I took some time, just stepping back, just trying to absorb what I saw. And then I decided to do a little bit of research of what the hell this is, And the first thing I read was the plot. Well, first of all, I read that Andrew Lloyd Webber the was made this musical based off T.S. Eliot. Now, The Wasteland. I remember reading that in high school. I took a damn poetry class. I didn't know why. I think mainly because the chicks would take poetry class, so I needed a chick class type thing. I don't know, so I took it, and I wouldn't say it was a big mistake or anything. There's some cool stuff. I mean, I was expecting reading a lot of poems with obviously some deep thoughts and things like that. Tiger, tiger, burning bright. That type of thing. But and some rhyme to it. But there's a lot of stuff that didn't rhyme at all and just goes on and on and on with that. But anyway, so I didn't know it was for T.S. Eliot, and it was a book. What is it called? It was like a book of a collection of poems. It's called something. Let me get it for you. Where? I thought they mentioned it here. So anyway, okay, I probably messed up and I can't. The Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. So it turns out when reading this, it's based off of that. Like Andrew Lloyd Webber loved that collection of poems and wanted to create something out of it, and that's what he did. And also, the music and everything was based off those poems lyrically, right? Except for one, and it was Memory. Memory is his own thing. It's Andrew Lloyd Webber's own song and lyrics and everything for the play or for the musical. So that's the first thing I read about. Okay, that kind of makes sense now. Well, sort of. Now, I still didn't understand what the hell the story was, but I thought it was like, wow, cats, the top cat trying to find another wife. And then I read the plot, and it had nothing to do with that at all. If spoiler alert, if you want to continue watching this without knowing what the plot is, just close your ears. Basically the plot is reincarnation, afterlife, right? They're trying to get selected. One of the cats trying to get selected to go to kitty heaven, apparently. Here's the problem. I never got that anywhere from watching Cats. Nothing at all. Nothing like that. No impression of that at all. And if you would have told me that earlier and then I still watched it knowing that behind, I would have still never figured this out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those, this musical, what makes it so frustrating, especially for someone who, let's say this is the first time you're watching a musical or getting to see Cats, right? I don't know if anyone would be disappointed, and I was not just only disappointed, I was totally pissed that I spent like 2 hours or so watching this whole thing, not knowing what the hell I'm watching from a plot perspective, okay? And it does have a plot, apparently. Again, like I said, it's supposed to be something about being reborn, reincarnation, but man, this whole musical had no hints of that at all. What you had to do is you had to understand what this musical was in the beginning. Like read this entire thing, research up it, or someone telling you what the plot is before actually going to watch this in order to understand it. Seriously, that's, to me, there's just no way you would have picked this up at all. So, number one, I didn't get it at all, plot-wise. And even knowing what the plot was supposed to be or loosely based off of, I still wouldn't have gotten it, okay? So it just didn't make sense. So to me, this was more of really no plot at all, or loosely based off a poem, which is loosely based off some type of plot, which is really so loose that it's really, there's no plot. It just falls off. And to me, Cats is more of like a musical review instead, if you know what I mean. It's more like just a bunch of songs, and in with the actors in kitty costumes just dancing and singing, and there's going to be different songs here and there, and happens to be singing one good song, Memory, and the rest was, and that's another thing too. The music itself, outside of Memory, I thought all the songs were just, they were meh. I didn't catch on any other song that I like or can hum to or remember, at least melody-wise. I didn't remember crap. The only thing I remember was the lyric, and it was Jellicle. Jellicle cats, Jellicle cats. They kept pushing that narrative, those two words, like right from the beginning, and that's all I remember, okay? I didn't remember any of the other songs, anything else. And even Memory, no matter how good that song was, there's no way that song itself could save it, right? For me, at least. It's like you can play Memory nonstop, like every 5 minutes. Just play melodies, parts of it, or the whole song. And I'd still be pissed off watching Cats because I had no clue what I'm watching. I had literally no clue. That's enough. Besides, okay, so there's no plot. The music outside of Memory was okay, and I mean it was nothing memorable. So I thought it was just all meh. There's nothing special about it. Third, I don't know the reason they have kitty costumes like that. They're all leotards and that type of thing, very tight stuff, was to kind of make you want to watch more or something. Hey, depending on who you want to watch, right? But that's another thing. The dancing, there's a lot of dancing. I admit, there's dancing all over the place. It seems like this whole musical was all about music and dancing. That's it. Plot be damned, right? And the dancing too. I mean, they're okay. I mean, it's your like typical ballet style dancing here and there, and I don't recall any flips or anything, but things like that. I mean, it's just, and then they got the Cirque du Soleil stuff too, a bit here and there, but I don't know. It just, the problem is all those three, plus I didn't know what to look for because there's so many cats, singing and dancing. I don't know what to concentrate on. I didn't understand the plot. Everything was all over the place. Music wasn't good. It's just, it was just the most frustrating thing I've ever been through for 2 hours in a long time. Outside of watching like the Bears lose for 3 hours, that's another story. But anyway, that's what I got from Cats. And now to the main question, the main point of this video, like, I just don't get Cats. I don't get this musical at all. This is not a musical that I would consider first tier musical at all. To me, it shouldn't be in Broadway or anything. This is more like something that you would create like for Las Vegas casinos, but they're like not the casinos on the strip or something. There would be like the local casinos. Now, there's some good local casinos in Vegas, no doubt. But basically what I'm getting at, it's not your top tier. Maybe it's not even your second tier show that you would do at let's say at Caesars or Bellagio, the top tier casinos in Las Vegas. This would be like your matinee. Here, cover charge is like $20 with free cocktails. I mean, to me, that's what this is. I mean, this is what it should be made for. And this being one of the most popular Broadway musicals ever, like, from a Broadway perspective, I think this was shown on West End for the longest time. And everyone talks about it, as being ALW's best, one of his best at least. I just don't get it. I really don't get it at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is, it's even Memory, no matter what, can't save this, no matter what. And if all it is you just want the music, like myself, if knowing what I know now, and anything that is good that came out of Cats was Memory, I wouldn't even go see the show or anything like that. All I would do is just play this, right? Go ahead and see my other Barbra Streisand video on that, but I would play this. Better yet, you know, Cats was trying to be, I don't know if the skin tight clothes like that, the leotards or something like that, and I think that was new at the time when it first came out, was something to try to be provocative, you know, trying to keep the audience engaged, I don't know, from looking or something like that, but you know, if you want to be provocative and all you want to do is listen to memory, get this album instead. So anyway, that's all I've got to say. And again, I don't get it. I'm totally dissing Cats. If you I don't know, the plot. This is the plot. This is Cat's Idol or Cat's, you know, Cat's Got Talent or something like that, and then they're trying to win a competition. That's what it is. That's all it is, and that's it. Otherwise, this musical sucks. It absolutely sucks. I'm sorry to say. All right, that's all I've got to say. Thanks. If you're an ALW fan, you're a Cats fan, both, whatnot, comment down below and trash me all you want. I don't care. But this thing sucks. This is not a musical I recommend to anyone who's never seen a musical or, you know, things like that. I can almost guarantee whoever sees this as their first musical ever will never ever want to watch a musical again. So anyway, thanks a lot. Bye.